When COVID hit last year, public schools, like other institutions, were forced to shut down. Many students and families struggled with remote learning. But now that classrooms are reopened, some kids are still home, with parents turning into teachers.
Our very first time homeschooling, and I took a leap of faith to my husband and I. We, looked at this program. We said, you know what, we're going to do this. And we believe God is saying that this is the time to do this.
Crystal Lynch recently turned her Apopka, Florida home into a classroom for her boys. That also means teaching 3 grade levels, 3rd, 5th, and high school.
I didn't like what I was seeing with the numbers in Florida, of course, with the virus. I felt that there was too much back and forth with, the mask wearing and no mask wearing. And things that were just happening with that I didn't really like in particular.
When schools went virtual, Lynch, a former teacher, helped her kids with their lessons. She soon discovered it was easier to teach them at home, while also protecting them from COVID and the debate surrounding it.
I pulled them out. I could have put them in the public school, virtual school. I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to wait on anyone. I'm going to just take it into my own, our own hands.
According to U.S. Census Bureau data, the pandemic has sparked new interest in homeschooling. In 2019, about 2.5 million students learned at home. Today, that number has doubled to nearly 5 million. In California, applications to homeschool tripled from 2020 to 2021. And Black households saw the largest boost, the rate rising from 3.3% in the spring of 2020 to 16.1% in the fall. Brian Ray is president of the National Home Education Research Institute.
That's a huge increase. That's maybe 40 to 50%. That's about maybe more now than in all of Catholic schools. And that's a pretty big system. It's rivaling charter schools now.
Virginia is part of this growing trend.
We have gone from 44,000 homeschoolers to over 65,000 homeschoolers just in the state of Virginia alone.
Yvonne Bunn of the state's Home Educators Association says while COVID plays a role in the increase, other factors are also having an impact. For example, more schools are adopting critical race theory, an academic concept teaching racism exists everywhere in America.
Of course, right now we are seeing a lot of reaction to COVID, and because of health reasons, parents are considering sometimes a child is not able to wear a mask in school. CRT is also a factor. We have certainly seen a tremendous outcry from the community. They are not happy with this, and many minority homeschoolers are not, parents are not happy with this either.
Ray says many want to shield their kids from other hot-button issues, such as transgender policies in public schools.
Parents are realizing what you let flow over your child's heart and mind 6 hours per day absolutely has an effect.
Bunn says leaders in the faith community are also searching for better educational options for families.
We're also seeing pastors calling us, and pastors are asking, how can we help our church families? How can we help the people that are in our congregations do something about this? They want an alternative. And so we are answering questions that they have about how to start a church co-op or a pod or a community of their parents who can work together in teaching their children.
A common theme for a number of parents is that their kids performed well while homeschooling, and they don't want to change that.
Last year, I think a lot of people tried homeschooling, or they were doing government school at home, and they realized, wow, we can do a lot of things in 2 or 3 hours that takes a public institutional school 6 hours to do.
And the results are undeniable.
Homeschool students score above 83 percentile in language arts and mathematics on a standardized achievement test, whereas public school students in a good year, not a COVID year, but in a good year, only score 50 percentile on the same test.
Something Lynch says proves worthwhile.
I can actually find out where they actually need help, because there were some areas that I found out they hadn't made the gains that they should have, even though they were in private school. There are certain areas I could work with them on.
Meanwhile, as the interest in homeschooling grows, Ray believes it's more than just a fad.
I think it's going to keep growing the trend line for at least 5 years.
I would definitely probably continue this moving forward, because the kids love it, I love it, and we're seeing great gains from it.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News.